So today I actually want to talk about the house that gave me a sign, because they have an Australian clock on the wall, and I think that Greg might put that up somewhere here. I see people do this in YouTube videos and things pop up, so hopefully Greg can sort that out. Anyway, the house I want to talk about today is the house in Prezza, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. There's a few reasons I love it. The first thing is I quite like the views. I love the vibe of the town, and I also love that it's actually deceptively quite large, but you don't have to deal with how large it is if you don't want to. Essentially, you can kind of close the door and you don't have to necessarily deal with everything all at once, and it's also livable to begin with. So anyway, on the day we went to, I think we went and saw this house on the second day that we were there, because we kind of did two sides of the mountains as we were doing our tours. So when we went there, it was a rainy day. It was still lovely. Like, the town still had so much character. We had a little wander around kind of down below in the small, tiny little piazza, and saw where, you know, the locals sit at the bar and have a drink and all that sort of stuff. So I already had a good vibe, even though it was raining and a little bit overcast, and I was like, oh, you know, we won't see the views like we do in the initial video that we saw, but you know, let's go and have a look. Essentially, I walked in and I just went, oh yes, I love this place. I love that there's working plumbing, because some places don't have that. There's, you know, there's relatively new electrics in there and things like that. So first of all, that kind of fit that criteria. But then I walked in and went, this place isn't too big. You know, it's really speaking to me. And when it speaks to me, it may not speak to anyone else. I imagine other people that walked in the house that day, because there were probably about 40 of us, walked in, went, no. And I did that with some places. I literally walked in the front door and went, I don't need to see anything else. This is not for me, or this town is not for me. So we all have our different criteria, just like if we're buying a house anywhere. So I went in there in person and said, yes, this is a contender for me. There's a working bathroom, there's a working kitchen. They may leave all their furniture behind, or you can, I believe, put in a contract in some instances for them to take all their furniture away. However, I wouldn't mind one way or the other. If you get in there and you can make those decisions later, I guess you could always give it away. There's probably another video to explain to people how you actually get rid of houses that sometimes have literally hundreds of years worth of furniture and collectibles. It's like sometimes people have just walked out, and the last time they walked out, they went, this is, you know, where they put a coffee cup, or, you know, maybe they opened a cupboard, or they put a book down somewhere, or, you know, we have the TVs crack me up, because some of them are not even like the big boxy ones, but the big boxy ones we used to have to go in and tune the channel. I mean, there's some ancient things in there. I'm always really curious. I'm always trying to look at the calendars on the wall to see when the last month was. However, that's probably not an entirely accurate litmus test for when the last time someone was in there, because I noticed the other day in our toilet that we have a calendar in there from 2020 and for some reason we stopped in October. So I don't know if it's exactly accurate, but it is interesting to see the last time someone put a calendar on the wall and where it stopped, and, you know, the time that clock stopped. And sometimes people have literally walked out of these houses and they still have their family photos on the wall, and it's really fascinating to me the history that you can see when you walk into these homes. So not only are you looking at the house, but it's kind of like time stood still to a degree. So that's really interesting anyway, just as a little aside. Anyway, the things I really liked about this place is I love the town. I love that there's views, and which you'll see, we'll put something in there that shows that. But again, I also really love that although there's definitely work to be done, there's nothing that can't stop us from kind of going in there and then doing things as we need to. So there's two reasons for that though. So when I was first watching the video, Dave, and if you watch the video, because I'll put a link in the comments or the description of YouTube and on the different socials, showing you a link to the video so you could watch it if you want to. But Dave was saying at the beginning, oh, you know, and then there's a surprise I'll show you. So the surprise is that not only is there a house, you know, there's like a unit size house at the top, they actually have a cantina. Now, a lot of these places have cantinas, and sometimes they're in varying stages of disrepair. So you may literally walk into a cantina that was carved out of a mountain and it's still just stone. And we saw a couple of places like that. So there's those sorts of cantinas, and you really don't know what to expect when someone first mentions a cantina. However, this cantina looks as though someone actually lived in there at some point. There is a little kind of kitchen set up. There's a big open room that I really like, which you could use for storage, or, you know, if you're trying to renovate one part, you can put things in that part. So it's actually really kind of separate. So you could, like I said before in the beginning, you could close one door, and if you don't want to think about that straight away, you wouldn't have to. However, it 1000% has the potential to, a lot of people do like Airbnb and all that sort of stuff while they're over there. I don't know if I want to do that. However, I have lots of friends. I'm not even kidding you. I've had $1 for every friend that has so far said to me, oh, I could go and stay in your place at Italy. So this is not something that I would say no to anyway. I'd love my friends to come over, even if I was there or not. So, but it is nice to know that you potentially have two separate places, and if people wanted to come over and spend some time, but they still want their privacy and a little bit of independence, there is a lot of potential for that cantina to be like a second living space. As Dave mentions in the video, there is plumbing downstairs, and there's a boiler which looks like it might need to be updated, but that's a whole other story. But essentially there is plumbing where you need it to be. So there are certain things that you can do in these places that won't necessarily cost a lot of money. It might take a bit of elbow grease, a little bit of work, but there's certain things that you can expose. Obviously at the front needs a paint, needs some updated furniture, and I also have some ideas in terms of layout. So I'm talking now, if we're thinking about going back into the main house, Greg's telling me that it's unlikely we can do it because of the thickness of the walls, but there's something called a geometra in Italy, and I guess they're like a jack of all trades in terms of what you can do with a house. So they're not necessarily an architect, but they can tell you, you know, there's plumbing there, that's a load bearing wall, you know, that is 15 inches thick. I'm not even exaggerating when I say 15 inches thick. Like, it is crazy how thick these walls are. So I had a little bit of an idea in this one about maybe making a bedroom downstairs where the kitchen currently is, and bringing the kitchen into where the lounge room is in the entryway when you first walk in. There's also options for, okay, so this is a little aside story. It's raining, everyone's had a look in the house, everyone's looked in the cantina. I kind of popped my head in the cantina. I went, oh yeah, this is interesting. I didn't walk right to the end. There was a lot of people, and I knew that I'd actually already seen a video. So everyone was getting back on the bus, and I'm thinking to myself, where's Greg? We don't have to be attached at the hip. However, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, everyone's on the bus. Where is my husband? It's like a flashback to when we went to the Vatican Museum and I lost him, and then the tour lady was like, where is he? And anyway, I was having flashbacks. But I'm standing there and I'm thinking, okay, I can't find Greg. I can't see him anywhere. I also can't see Dave Benton, this YouTube channel owner and host of the tour. And I can't see Tony. And Tony is his sidekick, and I don't want to call Tony a sidekick, but anyway. He's Dave's producer in terms of when he does his lives and his videos and all those sorts of things. He was kind of the head of our bus, on the bus that we got on. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, where is my husband? And where are Dave and Tony? Like, there's 3 of them now. So I know the buses aren't going to go, but I'm still thinking, well, if they're not all together, where is he? So I then go and pop my head back on the bus. I'm like, no, he's not on here. So then finally, Dave, Greg, and Tony come wandering out of the cantina. And Greg's like, oh my gosh, this goes on forever. He said, and I also found, I think he said something like he found a bit of a secret staircase internally. And he said what that is that where you see, when you walk in up stairs, and where you see the start of the stairs, and there's like a little alcove under the stairs, and then when you go down the couple of steps into what is currently a bedroom, there's like a kind of boxy wardrobe. He said to me that stairs could come up there, like there was originally stairs there that they've just shut off. So there's also the opportunity to actually open that all up, I would imagine, although again you would need a geometer, but I'm assuming if they were there once upon a time, they might be able to be again. Italians are very interesting with their stairs. Sometimes they're like giant steps. You need to be 6 foot tall to get your feet up the steps, and sometimes they're kind of crooked, and sometimes they're on a lean, so you kind of feel like you're walking up a crooked hill a little bit, and you might need railings to pull yourself up. I had to do that in a couple of houses. So if you ever watch these videos and someone says, oh, the stairs are comfortable, it means that they're more like a traditional stair where you can actually just walk up it like a normal person rather than a mountain goat. So they may be mountain goat stairs. Some people call places that you go to, they'll call them stairs, but they're really a ladder. There's some really interesting things that people would consider to be stairs. So the good news is that there may be an opportunity to open that up if that's what we want, or we could keep it totally separate. So there's a number of reasons that I really love this place. You know, I'm thinking that if we could put a bedroom where the current kitchen is, we could put like a little ensuite in there as well, because it's quite a large room. You have a small view out of because it's only a small view window in the kitchen. So, you know, you have light in there, which is nice. And then when you go upstairs, that could be another bedroom, and then thinking about whether or not you'd want to put an ensuite up there, because as Tony says in the video, the bathroom is right underneath where he suggested to put like a walk-in robe or an ensuite. So there is the opportunity to have, you know, a bathroom upstairs, which is great, because that's important to me. I don't want to break my neck running down the stairs when I get up and go to the toilet 7 times a night, which I always seem to do. I don't know if it's an age thing, but I cannot make it through the night without getting up and going to the toilet multiple times. So there is that. But I do also like the opportunity of, as you know, as we got older, do we want to be going upstairs? So can we make a bedroom downstairs? And where the actual bedroom is downstairs, where you go down those couple of little steps and you walk towards the built-in balcony, I would actually just make that a living room, like a lounge room. So if a geometer said so, as you walk in the door, I would make that like the open plan kitchen area with like a little kitchen table. And then if you walk down those few stairs, that would be your lounge room. So I really love it when there are views, but I kind of feel like, where do you spend most of your time? It's usually in the living areas during the day. You know, you're usually only in your bedroom sleeping. So that's not necessarily a priority when it comes to having a view. This is my top pick. Now, someone could buy it in the meantime. The good news is that, you know, just like with anything in life, I may be disappointed, and if it goes, it goes, and then I should have either moved faster and made a decision and pulled the trigger, or it's waiting for me because it has an Australian clock on the wall and a kangaroo magnet on the fridge. That is a sign. So maybe another Aussie will buy it, who knows. So anyway, I love it. I love it for those reasons. There are probably multiple other reasons. As I said, I really like the vibe of the town too. There's some beautiful houses too that have been done up there. I feel like it's starting to kind of happen. Like there's a lot of investment into infrastructure and things there. So who knows, maybe there will be like an official bus at some point or something. So again, when I look at these, there'll be different reasons why I like it. Sometimes it might be purely about the house. Sometimes it might be about the fact that I don't necessarily love the house as much as I love the one in Prezza, but can I walk to the train station? Is it easy to get around? All that sort of stuff. So my priorities will change, and I'm a woman, and just like most women, I have the right to change my mind at any time without any real reason behind it. So that may happen. Absolutely may happen. But anyway, that's what I want for now. So yeah, Prezza is our first choice. Take a look at the video. I'll pop some links in if you want to. If one of you go and buy it out from under me, that's fine. I'll just come and visit you. I'm cool with that. But I just have this feeling that it's waiting for me, and I don't know. I don't know if I have analysis paralysis or what it is. It is slightly over our budget, because I know I talked about budget in the last video. So, you know, if we do buy somewhere like that where I say, well, we might want to do this and that, we obviously need some money for renovations and making it look pretty, and still have money to travel, because we still, you know, we can only be in Italy for 6 months out of the year. So anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'll let you go. Check it all out. I'll keep popping other contenders in because I'm looking at Pena Monte and Ferro San Martino, Popoli, Chieti now. So yeah, this is exciting. I'm so excited, and I also need some opinions and for people to like pull me down on off a crazy ledge if I'm on one. And I'm just, once I bought a car because I liked how many cup holders there were instead of the fact that it worked. Like Greg was cranky at me. Or maybe that was the one I bought because I like the colour and nothing worked. Anyway, I need to be smart about these decisions, and Greg can usually, draw me in, but just like any married couple, or I don't know, in my marriage, sometimes he'll hear things from other people and he'll listen, and then I'll hear things from other people and I'll listen, and we could have both said the same thing to each other. So I would love opinions, I would love questions, because then that helps solidify in my mind why I really like these things and what I want to do. So thanks again for listening or making your way through all this if you have. If I'm just talking to myself again, that's fine. I'll just go back and watch this later and see where Mandy was a year ago, as I always say. Anyway, again, I'm rambling. Signing off. See you next time. Bye.